I'm at the Western Wall, which is one of Judaism's most holy sites here in the Old City in Jerusalem. This memorial has just finished. It has brought people from all across Israel to this sacred site to remember 1 month since this attack was launched by Hamas. More than 1,400 people killed in Israel and more than 240 people taken hostage, including more than 30 children. Here, what we have seen in the last few hours are incredibly emotional, raw and heartfelt scenes. People hugging, crying, praying and singing as they try to come together in grief. Grief that is still incredibly raw every day. Funerals are still happening for the people that have been murdered here. And for the families of those 240 odd hostages that are still being held, it is a daily living nightmare. This service, this memorial here today, was mainly to show support for those families as they continue to wonder what conditions their loved ones are being held in, and to put more pressure on their government and also international mediators to try and secure their release. And we've heard just some really heartfelt and quite horrific examples and testimony from people here about their experiences, how their brothers, their mothers, their sons, their daughters were captured by Hamas. And it seems that almost everybody in this country has had some sort of connection to this horrific incident. They've either had somebody murdered, they've either had someone taken from their family, or they know someone, they know people who've been displaced from the south, or their loved ones are now part of the 300,000 odd military reservists that have been called up to fight in this war.
And we were just looking, Alison, at the pictures of those empty chairs signifying the hostages that have not yet been found or returned. Israeli forces say they are now inside Gaza City. What do we know?
Yes, we've heard from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, in the last few minutes. He has said that his forces are at the edge of Gaza City. Now, this is incredibly significant for a number of reasons. One, because in all of the combat battles that have happened inside Gaza before, enemy forces, enemies of Hamas or militant groups in there, have never actually breached Gaza City before. And equally, it's significant because Gaza City is so densely populated with civilians, and we've already seen, according to the Hamas-run Ministry of Health, more than 10,000 people killed. They're saying more than 4,000 of those people are children in Gaza, and so there are very real warnings from aid and humanitarian groups that as this fighting moves into those more populated areas, more sort of urban warfare conditions, fighting between buildings in small narrow streets, that more civilian lives will be lost.